Welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about VITA NOSTRA by Marina and Sergey Dyachenko, translated into English by Julia Meitov Hersey. As you know, this is Dark Academic Fantasy Month on Bar Cart Bookshelf. All month long, all November long, we are looking at the mysterious and magical universities, colleges, academic programs, and the darkness that underlies them. Last week we talked about Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and this week we are talking about a book that I've been looking forward to reading for a long time. It sort of escaped me until just now, but really was one of the excuses that I had to plan this themed month, which is VITA NOSTRA, and wow, what a book. It's dark academia, so we're rooted really heavily in study, but just wonderfully phantasmagoric and dreamlike and fevered in its approach. This is the life of the mind that transforms you, that you give yourself wholly over to. If our protagonist in Ninth House is not wholly devoted to her studies, Sasha, the protagonist of VITA NOSTRA, absolutely is. And we see the dangers of giving yourself over wholly to the life of the mind throughout. It is really beautifully written and beautifully translated, and it reminds us in certain ways that even the recent past is a foreign country, and it is of course set in a foreign country, translated from Russian, and our first translated work, but originally published in 2007. And in our world of much more immediate communication, it was interesting for me to see the differences that and limitations that are placed on Sasha and on the other students as they attend this rural special institute college, the Institute for Special Technologies. As I said, VITA NOSTRA has this wonderfully phantasmagoric and dreamlike quality. This comes through right at the beginning and really never lets up. So it's a book that you devour in great gulping passages and want to just read and rush through and let it wash over you. It's a very unknowable until it is knowable magic, and one rooted in fear and habituation and constant study and practice, but then is utterly miraculous and transformational, and was incandescently brilliant. I had such a wonderful time with it. I read it, like that. I wish I could have read it in one afternoon, but, life has a way of stealing our time. And so the 2 days that I did spend with it were absolutely marvelous. And so with that in mind, we had to have a drink to match. Without any further ado, why don't we turn to today's drink. This is the special technology inspired by VITA NOSTRA, and let's get going. I'm going to start with 1.25 ounces of vodka. As I said, translated from Russian, set in sort of in Russia, and the characters, when they drink, a lot of these younger students are drinking vodka, but also vodka, as we've seen here on Bar Cart Bookshelf, has a way of stepping back, of becoming invisible, and just supporting and standing in the background and being a backbone without overwhelming. And that's a quality that I sort of wanted to bring to the fore in this drink, as the ubiquity, but also the eerie, is it quite there, is it not quite there quality of the magic in the book. So, we've got our 1.5 ounces of our vodka, very clean, very neutral, and then we're going to add our modifiers. I'm going to start with something that, unlike the vodka, definitely has a presence, and that is yellow chartreuse. It's an herbal liqueur, golden and herbaceous and sort of rich and warm. And the colors that I sort of took away from the book were these hazy, dreamlike, as I keep going back to, dreamlike golds. And so the sort of complexities and layers of the chartreuse really are going to bring not only sweetness but depth to our cocktail. Alongside that ½ ounce of yellow chartreuse, we're going to get a ½ ounce of apricot liqueur made with dried apricots, a bit of that rich dried fruit, stone fruit, depth and sweetness, which is also really nice for fall and winter, the seasons that we're here at now, and feels very collegial to me, these sort of autumn leafed colors. And it is a book in which we get these miraculous golden coins, which of course are not apricots, but a dried apricot and a golden coin have a little commonality to them. And certainly I know I would rather have a dried apricot in my cocktail. Then, to brighten things up, we've got 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, just adding some of that sharpness, some of that citrus that helps to balance out our spirit and our sweeteners. Alrighty, we're going to get our ice into our shaker, chill it down. Everything's a process, and we see this in Vita Nostra, and so we want to do things in our proper order, which is why we add our ice last, because that's what cooks our cocktail. Just nice, shaken, frothy, frosty. Give that a stout tap, and we do not get ahead of ourselves as Sasha learns dangerous consequences throughout the novel. It is a place where knowledge has a price. We're going to strain that into our large coupe there. As you notice, and as you might know, when we use this large coupe, we have a bit of extra space, and that's because when we use this large coupe, we are going to be topping things off with a little something bubbly. Again, this is sparkling wine, effervescent, really sort of refreshing and celebratory. The two spirits, the two things that come up in the book are vodka and champagne, and so having them both together not only feels appropriate, but also thinking about the effervescence, the power of transformation in the book. I am using a Prosecco just because that is the sparkling wine that I prefer. Certainly use your favorite dry sparkling wine, whether that's a champagne or a Prosecco. And a nice easy twist to get that cork to fly off like magic. And we will top our special technology. There we go. Let those bubbles just fizz and froth. And then, to garnish, at a pivotal moment of transformation, we see the power of a cherry. And so we are going to garnish with one of our pure luxury Luxardo Maraschino cherries. Perfect. And there you have it. This is the special technology inspired by Vita Nostra by Marina and Sergey Dyachenko, translated into English by Julia Meitov Hersey. Vita Nostra is available now. You absolutely must buy, borrow, read this book. I've got a link to snag it in the description below, as well as to the Boston Shaker, where we get all of our tools and ingredients. Now is the perfect time to read Vita Nostra because the sequel, Assassin of Reality, will be available next spring. I have already pre-ordered my copy, and I am just very excited to see what comes next for Sasha. We've got links to Twitter and Instagram, for as long as Twitter exists, where there's always a written version of today's recipe. Please try the drink. Let me know what you think. Hit the comments down below. If you've read Vita Nostra, let me know, because I'd love to talk about it some more. If you haven't yet, please go do so. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends what we do here. Tune in for more cocktails and mocktails inspired by dark academia books later this month. And until next time, cheers.